Uh, we're now going to start Friday Fireup with Bo rapping every week.
But it's just going to be the McDonald's rap. It's going to be
Yes,
awkward.
the McDonald's rap. Jesse,
one rap
if
a
you
week.
could get him a chain, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And Bo, if you can hit that incentive for Aflac, I think they'll send you, what did they send, Dave?
It
chain,
looked like
right?
Jesse's chain. It was a chain. It said Aflac, a giant heavy chain.
Did it really?
Blinged out Aflac. Yeah, we sent that out.
What
Like the
would my
Papa
rap
Giorgio?
name be? Bo Shizzle or something?
Yep. Bo
B to the-
Shizzle.
It's B to the O.
Yep.
All right. Well, happy Friday, everybody. I'm thankful that a lot of you were able to remember to jump on here because I completely spaced sending the reminder out until about an hour ago. So thank you for joining us. It's been a week. It's been a crazy productive week, though. We've got a lot of exciting things to share with you all. And still very much in alignment with our ultimate goal, which is to continue to find ways to put tools and opportunities in front of everybody to help you all drive a lot of profitability to yourselves, to your business, and to make impacts on others. So we got some cool things to share. So I'll jump into some of the first ones here. First one actually comes from, I don't know if you know this, Carla, but we call Jordan Batman. So we do have some very simple training videos coming shortly to the website. Thanks to Batman, or Jordan Sharp, our partner out in Kansas. He's been really diving in and making really short, simple videos on how to navigate through the applications, through all of the processes that are new to a lot of us. So we're just vetting some of those right now, making sure the audio is good. And once we get those, we'll get those on the website. We'll send a reminder out to everybody via email too that those are live. So we're excited about that. You've heard a little bit about changes with some carriers. So one of those, the main one, I would say, being Corebridge. Jesse, Papa Giorgio, you want to give us an update there?
Yeah, and Integrity, our partner Joelia, has the list of everybody, and so they're starting with agencies first, and then obviously they'll start from the top and release it in different spurts, I guess. But yeah, look for the same. It'll be the same thing. It'll be an invite from Joelia.Ruiz, and it's going to go straight to your Sure LC, the same portal. So you'll see an AIG or Corebridge coming in there. It seems to be a little bit simpler. The only difference on this one is you do need the E&O insurance. So other than that, just look for that this next week. You should have it, and we'll see how long. But I imagine once you fill it out, you probably expect at least 7 to 10 days to get that.
Hey.
It's only for GI, so.
Hey, Jesse, just real quick, though, when you get a minute, can you check with Joelia what their current contest is with SureBridge?
Oh, sure.
In the past, SureBridge had the richest contest literally I've ever seen.
They did.
It was $8,000 for 25 apps. So they're really driving this segment of the business. We'll find out what the latest contest is that they've got, and we will get that out. We'll email it out as soon as we have that team. So
yes, I may even have it by the end of the call.
Awesome. Dave, I'm going to go out of order here a little bit, so
you bet.
You can share screen here. So, Bo, I'm going to kick it to you, actually, jumping into some of the an update on leads and what's going on there.
Me. All right, we got, if you don't know or don't remember, we got our FE beneficiary leads are on subsidy right now. So they're $8 instead of $16. I know Jesse's working on getting the website updated, but if you go in there and it's not updated yet, just order half as many leads as you want. So if it still says $16, order half as many leads as you want, and I'll double it up for you. And we're having some good luck with those. We got 862 left out of the total bucket that we've been allotted for that. Plenty to go, but also plenty of opportunity there. We've been getting a lot of appointments off of those just through the AI. So that's been pretty slick. But also, don't wait on the AI, right? Make sure you're calling and making it personal. Introduce yourself if the AI schedules it. If not, make your own calls. Drop a voicemail. Let them know that you're a real human. You're not a telemarketer. You're responding to their request. It goes a long way if you get that personal touch in there. And then the last thing is just a reminder that we have our live leads is now available. So if you want leads the second somebody hits enter online, it'll pop right into your Woo Center, give you notification that you just got a brand new lead while they're still sitting at their computer. Those are available. If you're interested in those, reach out to me. My contact details will be in the chat box here shortly, and I'll get you in touch with our guy Greg, who can get you signed up for that.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Bill. And just a reminder, those those leads that we're subsidizing down to $8, those are the under 30 days old that include the beneficiary. So those are some of the top tier leads out there. So it's a great thing to take advantage of right now. I want to speak on their Facebook outreach. So I've been friends with a lot of you on Facebook for a while. Some of you not so much. So I've been blasting out a bunch of Facebook invites because I want to be friends with you on Facebook, and the other reason is for some Facebook reach into the marketplace. So one thing that we're doing right now is we're looking to diversify our lead sources, right? We don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket, and we personally don't want to be in the lead gen game for everybody, right? What we'd rather do is teach everyone how to fish, essentially, right? So part of that is mastering the Facebook side of the house. And so what we're doing, and Bo and I have worked quite a bit on this, is learning how to generate Facebook leads. Once we have a campaign that's dialed in, that's really generating results, then what we want to be able to do is post the content to where you can take it, we'll teach you how to generate your own Facebook leads, and you can just take our content, plug and play, and that will keep your cost per lead way down, but it will also give you another resource. So I'm going to be sending out some links, just a heads up, for some Facebook outreach. So if you could go in and follow our page, because that's going to allow us to post things online that you'll be able to take it and you'll be able to push it out as well. We've got some videos. We mentioned this last week. Jesse and Dave are really working on some short 30-second animated videos that educate people on the products that we'll be able to plug in there. You'll be able to share those across your platforms. And the reason why we share that as well is because of what Dave's going to talk to next here, which is an amazing relationship with Ethos that came our way. So Dave, I'll turn it to you, brother, to give an update on what that is.
So hey, real quick though too, you guys with our Facebook launching off, make sure that you guys help us out a little. Go in and like our Facebook page. I put that in the chat box there for you. All right, back to you, Dave.
Yeah, so guys, nothing is gonna. I mean, we all hear about the robots taking over, right? AI's taking over, and we're right in bed with it, using AI to schedule appointments for you guys. But nothing will nothing is as good as you. But when you're not available, when it's a beautiful sunny day in the Northwest, I don't really want to be on the phone taking appointments, or a non-humid day in the summertime, Carla, in Kansas. Like we want to be able to, we all took this job to have some flexibility too. And so part of the ability is I want to make money when I am not the one driving it all the time. And so part of that is being able to do some self-enrollment. And so you guys, in the next week or two, you will be getting you'll be getting a contract invitation for Ethos. And what it's going to do is you're going to get a page that looks like this. So this is showing you what our page looks like. This did say my name on it, and so your page will look really similar to this. It'll be branded up here with us, but it'll have your name. It'll be your page. And I want to show you guys how powerful this is. Ethos is an amazing tool. They advertise like crazy. They spend a lot on advertising, but they are very good at converting. In fact, they're a conversion machine. Once they get somebody in, and their system and their process is shockingly fast. In fact, I would tell you that their mobile version is slicker than the desktop version, which is cool because most people, when they're doing it, they're sitting there on an iPad or on their phone, and that's where they're doing everything, right? They're sitting there scrolling, they're sitting on the couch. Most of us aren't sitting there with a laptop on the couch. We're scrolling, we're on our phones. And so this is what the landing page looks like. And I want to show you guys how quick what this really looks like. So a couple things to note. It's taking everybody through a waterfall. So this is not just final expense or just whole life or term life. It is what product fits the client the best. And the whole system is driven to do that. So as it's taking you through, you guys, I want you guys to take a note how quick it reacts as I click through, right? So let's see, I want to protect my loved ones, my spouse and partner. I'm ready to enroll today. I'm a male. My birthday. I'm in excellent health, clearly. I don't use nicotine. Do you guys get the idea of how quickly free will takes place? I'll just say I have no mortgage. Wink, wink, wink. So I kind of, after paring it down through that, it's like, hey, term life sounds like a good fit for me based off my birthday, what I'm trying to solve. That it's going to ask me a couple of questions, but you guys can see how quickly, I wasn't born in Alaska, by the way. You guys see how quickly it goes through. Cool thing is if somebody comes through via your link and they create a profile in Ethos, whenever they come back to Ethos, it's already tied to you. So if they somehow end up on an Ethos page in Facebook and they get back in, it'll actually pull up their profile from where they finished with you, and you will come through. As they get through the process, the online process, it just makes a decision within 5 minutes for them. So they're going to close out their application with an offer to accept insurance, and they can pay for it credit card or bank draft. If they don't accept the offer, Ethos actually begins to nurture that for you. There's no reduction in commission, nothing changes. If they call, like you see, it says call us for help. If they call and talk to an agent over the phone, it does not reduce your commission. So all the way along, it's just trying to get you guys to close an app. So it's a pretty broad array of products. There's multiple term life products. There's multiple carriers too, multiple carriers for term life, whole life, and final expense. So while the commission is reduced, and we'll send out commission schedules and contracts and everything all together, commission is less. But again, to me, it goes back to I'll happily take less commission if I'm taking applications while I'm sound asleep or watching YouTube or behind the boat surfing. And that's really the goal. So that's kind of what you guys are going to start seeing from us here in the next week, maybe two at the latest. Unfortunately, like Jesse said, we have to have top of hierarchy first. So we have to have all of our contracts in place and appointed in all the states, and it goes down. All the carriers that you're selling through Ethos, all of them, you don't have to go get a new appointment with those carriers. The appointment all happens just through Ethos and your Ethos contract. So don't freak out and be like, oh crap, I got to go get 8 more appointments. No, we just one contract with Ethos that we push through to you. So anyway, Paul, that's the Ethos component. Do you want me to jump into the Terminator program too? You're on mute, Paul, but you can keep moving your lips.
There we go. I muted because I had to blow my schnoz. So, no, couple things I wanted to speak to first, and I'll kick it back to you, Dave. So, there are a couple incentives going right now. So, Aflac does have its incentive. So, if you place 10 apps, well, you can see the progress there. So, 3 apps placed through Tier 1 or Aflac's coverage. This is final expense, by the way. In Q2, you get a $200 bonus. 6 gets you $500. 10 gets you $1,000. We do have, of course, this big one going on. We're nearing the midway mark. We're not there yet. So starting tomorrow, you'll have 7 weeks left to punch your ticket there. We had several more again this week start their process, and they're no longer final expense virgins, as I like to say. So they're certainly figuring this stuff out. So with that, though, I want to share this. So what Dave just shared is an amazing tool, right? We're looking for ways that you can continually have I like to think of it as fishing rods in the water, right? That ethos tool, as great as it is, I wouldn't say it's so great that you can just turn it on and kick back and it's going to generate the revenue that you want to generate, right? You still have to bring sources to it. So we shared this a few weeks ago. Here's what's going on in our economy. Here's what's going on in our country right now. This is 2023 turnover rates. So you're probably familiar with these because we shared these, but the average turnover rate is 41%, right? So if you're an employer, you're going to lose about 40%, not quite half, right, of your employees each year. You can see all of the different industries there. So as we spoke to this, we were talking with, again, a lot of you are Aflackers, you have work site cases, and what opportunities you had there to be able to capture people. But it sparked an idea with Dave that he took and ran with that we've since dubbed Project Terminator. So Dave, I'll kick it to you to elaborate on Project Terminator and what it means to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So again, it kind of was hatched out of what Paul was talking about using Everwell and tracking down employees, and it got me thinking. I came from the broker channel before I went to consumer markets and spent 7 years over there. And I know we've got. Let's see. I'm going to look at who's on the call, who I know here. Like I know I saw Cliff on the call. Cliff's been a broker, worked with a lot of brokers. Mark, my brother's on the call. He's worked with brokers.
Pinky Walker.
Pinky,
Yeah.
oh, Pinky Walker. Yeah. So you guys have all worked with brokers. I did too. And we've all worked with cases or with brokers that have cases that have employer paid life. In fact, Paul Bow and I, right, just left Aflac. We had employer paid life. And it got me thinking about like, man, about half of the employer paid lives are not portable. They don't port at all, and the cost goes up. Half of them that are portable, their porting of coverage is worse than Aflac's porting of coverage, like less than 2% is what we see port coverage. And so from a broker's perspective, essentially these employees, and Paul showed you guys the numbers, 41% are walking out the door and that broker makes nothing on it. Well, the exact same thing is happening for our agents in our groups. So if you're an Aflac agent and you've got a number of groups, well, you have employees walking out the door every single day. Can you guys see my screen? Polly, can you see the screen? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So I'm going to show you guys. So I was just kind of plugging around the numbers, and I can share this calculator with you guys. So you can kind of goof around with it. But if you take all of your groups and you say how many lives, that's not how many lives are enrolled in Aflac or anything. If you just said total lives in a group, well, if they're less than average and getting 35% turnover and another 6% retire, that means in a course of a year, your block of business has 492 employees walking out the door every year. If you got just 10% of them, and imagine using our technology, our tools, our Woo Sender, what if every one of those 492 said, hey, I saw you just left company X. We can still take care and secure your family. Well, that's exactly what we've done. We built a campaign for employees who left the job. And we can take it and we import that file right into Woo Sender. We create it, we hit send, and it starts a campaign. With that, we actually will have your ethos link in there, as well as we've got your name in there, right? So you can actually talk. So if they want to talk to you, they can be like, hey, whoa, I want to talk to you. Cool. Don't enroll on ethos. Talk to you. I'd way rather them talk to you because you're going to sell them a lot better than the platform is. But nonetheless, if you look at this scenario right here, that's the revenue for just 1,200 total lives in all of your cases combined. I mean, almost 12 grand doesn't suck. I'll take that. Paul, what was how much do you have to make up what you had to make in 2021? Wasn't it about 12 grand?
It was about 12 grand. Yeah.
So that almost makes it up. So that almost makes you whole from 2021 if your income didn't change. But I also know, like I say, we've got Cliff and Pinky and Mark, a bunch of people who have worked with brokers and worked with local brokers. If a broker's going to hang a shingle, then they're going to be in business in the health world. They've already got 20, 30, 40 groups, but their group size is a lot bigger than an Aflac agent's book on average. So I started talking to some of my broker contacts. This is an example. His number was actually this 51,000. He had 51,000. 51,000 lives is how many lives he had covered. And I started asking him about turnover. And he's like, gosh, you know what? We don't do anything with the people who leave. And the reason they don't is because they have a manpower deficit. Every broker, and I can't see Cliff or Pinky or any of those guys. If you go talk to any of these brokers, they'll all tell you the same thing. Every producer's got an account manager that's already buried. They've got way too much work just dealing with their open enrollments and the change files and everything that happens every single month. They don't have time to put effort towards dealing with terminated employees. So they're just nothings. They make $0 on those. They let the carrier send out a letter to them if they're going to port coverage or not. The broker does nothing with it. So as I showed this to my broker connections, I'm going to quote him now. So this is a quote, so I don't get in trouble for it. But he went, "Holy shit." Those were his exact words. Hey, Jesse, edit that out that I didn't swear right there on the video.
Never.
Beep.
I never swear. But he looked at this number and he's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I have." He's like, "I have a group that has 100% turnover every year. They turn over all their employees every year." And he starts looking at this, and he's like, "Wait, I really make $489,000." And we're like, "Yeah." After we split the broker, and if you, as an agent, if you bring that broker in, you're getting a 10% override on that, on all that business, because the broker's got to get paid. It's their client, it's their business. But you bring them to us, we use our tools and our technology. You make $48,000 for bringing that broker to the party. So is it that number? What if it's a much smaller broker, right? It's just the corner broker. They've got 5,000 lives. Gosh, man, I'm itchy trigger finger. That's still not bad for an intro, right? And letting the magic happen. And the effort, the lift that it takes is once a week, once a month, whatever the cadence the broker is comfortable with, or whatever cadence you're comfortable with in your groups, is just uploading a file. And all we need, here's the cool part too. We need 3 pieces of information. We need to know the person's name. We need to know the person's number. And we need to know what group they left, because that's our reference point that we use in the campaign so they know we're not some schmo scammer going after them. It's that they're like, "Hey, you left company X. You can still secure your family." And we drop the link in for them. So those 3 pieces of information are not protected information. That is not HIPAA protected information. And so there's a lot of easy lift that can happen here to drive revenue. And that's really our goal, is to drive revenue for you guys, our partners, as well as for us, as well as for the broker. We absolutely are a belief of that a rising tide raises all ships. So Paul, that's the Terminator program. And you guys, you should be able to have access to that here in the next couple of weeks.
And Dave, we have what, 100,000 employee Terminator things that we're starting next week.
Yeah,
so we're going to
actually
start launching out to a bunch of our preliminary brokers, and we'll return a report.
Yeah, I've met now with 5 brokers, and literally every single one of them is like, "How do we start?" I'm having another meeting this afternoon. Again, for them, it's found revenue, but if you're an Aflac agent and you've got a book of business, for you, it should be found revenue. Revenue that's the walking out the door every single day. Even better if you can help them port their coverage of Aflac, but keep your renewals intact. In fact, if I'm overriding any of those renewals, keep our renewals intact. That's what I'd prefer. So.
Absolutely. But before I jump into the next segment here, any questions around that? I know that was like, boom, high level data dump.
Did you guys talk to Jordan?
We showed Jordan this. Yeah, we did show
yesterday.
Jordan
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's basically 3 texts is all we're doing, right? Reaching out over 3 different times. And ultimately, if they have that ethos link, they can always refer back to it and sign up 6 months later. It's nice to give people an opportunity to still find coverage and for us to still make sales down the road. We've seen that in all of our, even the leads that we put through WooSender, that it'll reach out 3 months later and all of a sudden they respond and book an appointment. We've seen that all the time. So
Yep. Guys, this kind of gives you a flavor of what the text looks like. This is what the campaign this is one of the campaigns that we're running right now for Terminators. So it will be, "Hey Carla, as your employer paid life insurance ends from company X, we're here to assist you with next steps to ensure your family's security. You can sign up with no medical exam in 5 minutes. Let us know if you have any questions. Regards." That's it. Simple, easy, non-invasive, and again, we're not dealing with protected information. So it's which dots I's and crosses T's for our broker relationships. But again, guys, this is a tool that you'll be able to use for your existing groups. But also, I want you to think about it as we start helping you drive your own leads in your own business through social media, through Facebook. And Paul will be doing a training here. Paul and Bo will be doing a training here in the next few weeks on how to make your own Facebook ads and start driving your own leads. I know Jordan is already playing in that pool. We're going to work with you guys on how to do that. Again, I like making money while I sleep. I think it's fantastic, and being able to help you and pushing your ethos link out for when you can't be on the phone, right? So it's exciting stuff.
Awesome.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you. We need to record. Good thing this is recorded. I'm going to show Jenny that. Okay.
They didn't pay me to do that.
So if you don't have access to brokers, you're focused on the core of your business, we want to share a few best practices that we're seeing across our team. And really, the key to it that we're finding is just simplicity. Keep it simple. We've all heard that before, but we're learning something new for most of us. There's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of different carriers, a lot of different portals you got to go into. There's new product, all of the things, right? So we just have to really simplify that and narrow it down. So I had a lot of conversations this week, as did Bo, with doing some one-on-one sessions, just walking people through the systems and getting them going. So I'd say that the first step to really get this rolling is you do have to take time to get comfortable with the systems. We put this offer out last week. Several people took us up on it. Please continue to take us up on this offer, which is if you still feel like a fish out of water in the systems, just reach out to us, call us, text us, email us, whatever, and say, hey, can I get on your calendars? And we will walk you through the system. So we'll walk you through where to go onto the carrier portals, how to set up your system, how to tie that into Life Center so you can be quoting people. We'll walk through applications with you and we don't do it, we have you do it, and we guide you through. And so it's been a really good process. I think I shared this last week, but a lot of folks that we've done that with, they've made their first sale within 2 or 3 days after going through this. So you do have to get comfortable with the systems. I know for most of you, this isn't your full-time gig either, and we definitely understand that. Like Bo and I very much realized, well, this is our day-to-day, this is our life, and so we're constantly in the systems. But if it's something that I'm only devoting 30 minutes to a week, then I'm not going to know it as well. So make sure you're scheduling time to get comfortable with the systems. Once you learn one, then it's really easy to learn all of the other ones. One of the simplest things to do, I would say, is what's in blue there, is just write an app on yourself. You don't have to go all the way through the process, right? You can stop at the payment side, but go through the questions, get familiar with it. If you have questions on what they are, like what's the non-forfeiture options? What does that even mean? Write those down and certainly reach out to us, ask us if you don't know what that is. But if you want some one-on-one time, we're more than willing to do that. In fact, we have a really good time doing that as well. So that's step one. Make sure you're getting comfortable with the systems. And I would say actually this too, is you have to remember what your objective is with all of this, right? I would assume that all of you are joining our team and you're doing this because you want to have a source of income for yourself. That's a big deal, right? But you want to have that source of income while also making a positive impact on other people. So you have to keep that in mind when you're going through all of this. Okay, so next step is you have to remember access. Access is king, right? You can't sell anything if you don't have access to people. So we're trying to provide as many different sources to be able to gain access as we possibly can, but we as human beings, we constantly are in contact with people all the time, right? And so you have opportunities every single day, right? So you have to speak to it all the time. So one thing that's been super easy for me is, I had a big change after 20 years at Aflac. People are now finding out, hey, you're changed. What are you doing now? it's been interesting to see how many people are like, oh, you're doing life insurance now? I need life insurance. Can you get me a quote? Right? Those are just casual conversations. But for you, if you are an Aflac agent, if you do have worksite enrollments, bring it up all the time. If you have employer conversations, bring it up all the time. Do you have life insurance? Do your employees have life insurance? Is it something that you've needed? We do know this. Again, I hope that you hear my annoying voice right before you go to bed every night saying it's the second most sought after product in the marketplace, right? People want it, people need it. They just don't necessarily go out and seek it. So if we can bring that to the table, you're going to be winning cases, right? If you sell 1 or 2 a week, you're doing all right. So I spoke yesterday with Dave Williams. He's been very, very consistent. I believe he's now placed about 30 apps with us since February. And talked to him yesterday. I was walking through some of the systems because he's still not familiar with all of the systems yet. So we walked through some of the systems yesterday. And when we started our call, he jumps on and he goes, hey, bro. He always calls me bro. Bro, what I did, I did the Everwell thing. I jumped in, I pulled quotes for every single person I was going into for my enrollment, pre-enrollment. So I walked in the door with quotes in hand, ready to go. I sold two apps and open enrollments this week, right? When you put dollars to that, I mean, the average agent is going to make about $1,400 advanced off something like that, right? Like that's not too shabby on top of the other enrollments that he has. So just make sure you're one, speaking to everybody, but come in hand with a quote and don't ask, would you like a quote? Just quote them, right? Because the worst thing they're going to do is say, oh, sorry, I can't afford that, or that I'm not interested, right? But if you ask them, a lot of times they'll be like, maybe not. But if you just quote them, you'll be surprised. So make sure you're quoting everybody. Yes,
Paul, quick note on that. So do you guys remember last week I said, hey, I want you to ask people why they don't have life insurance, and they all said they should. So I did that game this week myself, by the way. Literally everybody said either yes or I should. No, I should. Like that's their response. They don't just say no. They go, no, but I should. Everybody essentially, once they become an adult, for the most part, they're like, I have people that rely on me. I should have life insurance, and they know they should. So you guys can try the game. Ask them the question. Hey, just real quick, I'm dabbling in this life insurance world. Real quick question. Do you have life insurance? Or you may not even have to pre-quill that. Just, hey, quick question. Do you have life insurance? No, I should. They're going to say it. It's amazing. They know they should. So that leading with a quote is powerful because they know they should. They haven't been asked. They haven't had the right opportunity. And it takes effort to go and find it and get it. And you're taking the effort out of that find.
Absolutely. I love it. So keep this in mind too. If that's the answer, right? I should. If someone says I should, what's the likelihood they're going to take the action step on their own? They're not. They're not going to.
It sounds like this. I should go to the gym. I should eat better.
Yeah, they're just not going to. But if you have the quote of, hey, I can get you $15,000 for $30 a month, is that something you're comfortable with? I should get it. Yeah, I guess I could do that, right? Is what we tend to see. So keep that in mind. If you don't have access to worksite, you've got to give yourself at bats, right? You have to get yourself in front of people. And so if that's the case, you do have to invest a little bit, right? So right now, I would say jump all over that subsidy that we have going on for those $8 leads. Like that's the best deal that we've seen on those and that we've been able to provide. So I would jump all over that. We can take note of who's on this call, right? So here's what I want to do for you folks that are on the call. As we get the Facebook ads going, I want to be able to kick those to you all so that you'll have those leads, right? So if we could take note of that, we want to do that for you guys. But those are really the simple things that we're seeing is you just have to get comfortable with it and you have to talk about it all the time and make sure you're quoting everybody. You do those 3 things right there, you're going to get really consistent, and consistency is king with anything, right? So that's our message today. I do want to open it up. Any questions, comments, anything you all want to throw out while we have you?
And Paul, who's our speaker next week?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. It's Aaron. I can't remember his last name. Aaron B. Burr. No.
Yeah, it's Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr.
He's our contact at Transamerica, by the way. So we have been seeing quite a bit of term life being sold through Transamerica, actually. But with that comes a whole new line of pendant business and learning how to deal with the pendant business. And so Aaron's going to join us next week. He's going to walk us through some best practices, some things that we need to know about writing the applications, how to get them unpended if they do pend. So that'll be good having him on next week. And I will remember to broadcast that before an hour before the Fireup. So anything else?
Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you all. So with that note, thank you all for what you're doing. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy this weather. Have an awesome weekend. Partners in crime, any final words from you all?
Nope. I would expect everyone to be able to write 2 apps next week. So we want you on the Alaska cruise. The subsidized leads are now up live on the site. So you go in, you'll see it has the flames behind it. So it's an $8 thing. So just buy the quantity that you want.
Great, Jesse.
While they last.
I like the flames, Jesse. It's got the flames. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one.
Have a good weekend.